Ready to go? Yeah, good afternoon everyone. I'm Steve Waggett, Development Director at Coventry City Football Club, and I'm pleased to present Steven Pressley, our new Coventry City manager. So without any more ado, can we take questions from the floor, please? Why Steve? Obviously after the departure of Mark Robins, after his short tenure of 5 months, we were starting to build a style of play and a methodology from grassroots through to the academy and onto the first team. So we were looking for someone who could pick up a slightly different baton that Mark Robins picked up 5-6 months ago, and to drive the club forward. Similar sort of attitude and style of play in terms of solid structure and high pressing of the ball in terms of technical work and fluid transition into attacking play, and something that we've discussed at length over the last few months because it's culminated in an audit at the academy level last week, where we had to present to the Premier League, the Football Association and the Football League our methodology for youth development going through the ranks for the next 5 years. So Stephen was a standout candidate on all of those points, plus through the apprenticeship and the years of managerial experience he had in Scotland, was perfect for the club at this juncture.
I mean, obviously, you said earlier you had loads of applicants, but you chose to go to somebody, you had to make emphasis at someone who's already at the club,
Yeah, we had just over 50 CVs in. There were probably 3-4 candidates that I really wanted to look at, but tracking through what Stephen had achieved both with the Scottish national team and also at Falkirk, style of play, the introduction of young players, the success he's had over the previous seasons, culminating in them reaching the semi-final of the Cup up there, made him the standout candidate and the one I really wanted to go to in terms of pushing the club forward over the next few years.
Steve, you've been linked with soccer clubs recently. What made you say yes to Coventry?
It's a club at this moment in time that I believe has enormous potential. It's a club with a wonderful fan base, a club with a hugely passionate fan base, and I think there's a potential here to truly grow this football club and take it back to where I think it certainly deserves to be, and over the coming months and years, hopefully, we can return this club to the glory days of before.
Did it take you a long time to make up your mind, or was it?
Well, we've chatted a lot over the last 48 hours, and talks have been very productive. I've spoke to Joy, Tim Fisher and Steve over that period, and I'm excited by their vision for the club for the future, and it very much mirrors my own vision of a football club. We'll work hard in developing our own young players and bringing them through our academy, and we'll work hard on the recruitment to get the right types of players in that fit the DNA for the philosophy we want to adopt here. And as Steve has already said, we'll adopt a style of play that is very much in keeping with what has been left with Mark in terms of high pressure football, but also a freedom to play in possession of the ball with a real emphasis on the passing game. And I'm so excited, sitting here and seeing this wonderful stadium and seeing the training base that we have. It's got the potential to be a very special football club.
Obviously you've got your long-term look, but as we stand, we've got, to use a horrible cliche, a 10k season. So is that your priority?
Absolutely, without a shadow. I spoke to the players this morning. I told them we've got 10 cup finals between now and the end of the season, and we're going to work tirelessly on trying to achieve the promotion places. And with the squad we have, with their form of late, it is still very much achievable, and we'll be working hard towards that.
I'm sure I know the answer, but will you be in charge at some
No, no, I'll be in charge. You know, I took my first session this morning, and the response from the players was terrific. You know, I think that over the last 5 or 6 months, you know, they've been a real shining light of this football club. You know, they've shown wonderful form, you know, a wonderful application, and you know, we had a really good reaction from them this morning, and I'm excited about working with this current group of players.
And I assume you've had a chat with Lee and the other backroom have. Is it sort of smooth handover, so to speak?
Yeah, very much so. You know, Lee Carsley will continue assisting myself with the first team, along with Neil McFarlane, who's joined me from Falkirk. Neil worked with me for 2 years at Falkirk. And of course the legendary Steven Pressley, who I was fortunate enough to play with, will continue in the goalkeeping capacity. So I'm very comfortable. You know, today at the ground, the training ground, it was you know, it was great to see all the staff, and the transition has been very, very smooth, and I'm very excited by it.
Obviously you played with before, and you say they are very passionate fans. They're also quite demanding fans. They'll expect, you know, instant results.
Yeah, the first thing is, it could be argued that I played here before. I was here for a year. I didn't play particularly well, but I was certainly here. You know, the fans, it's a big football club. Of course the fans want success. That's part and parcel of coming to a club like this, and I accept that. At my last club, Falkirk, which was a terrific football club and a great journey for myself, it was a club with demanding supporters as well, and I think if you want to be a success in football management, that is part and parcel of the job. So, you know, I accept that, and you know, hopefully I can work closely with our supporters in building this football club again. And I want to build a football club with a real identity that they become very proud of.
Was it a hard decision to leave Falkirk?
It was because I left behind some truly great people. You know, when you've been at a football club for 3.5 years nearly, you make a lot of friends, and we were very close as a football club. I had a wonderful chairman there, you know, and we went through a 3.5 journey together, and it was a great learning curve for myself, and you know, it's a club that will always be close to my heart, and a club that when I'm back in Scotland I'll certainly go along and see. But a great journey and a great experience, and I hope that experience has set me up nicely for this challenge too.
I know because obviously you haven't seen a lot of the players, but are you convinced that the squad you've got now is good enough to get in the players?
Well, I think that the statistics over the course of the last 5 or 6 months would certainly suggest that. You know, Mark Robbins came in and done a wonderful job. Unfortunately, he left, but it's given me a great opportunity to continue that good work, and not only continue that good work, hopefully add to that good work. And if given time and perseverance, then I think we can be hugely successful at this football club. And all I can say is I really am, I can't emphasise this enough, excited about taking over here.
Reports this afternoon, you picked the brains of Alex Ferguson to get a glowing reference of Steven. Is that correct?
It is correct. Obviously wanted to look at some references, people who had been tracking Steven more closely. I've tracked him obviously, but not as closely as some other people, and there's no bigger reference in the game of football here than Sir Alex Ferguson, who when he called me, give him a glowing report of you know, the next one of many talents to come out of to Scotland, south of Scotland. So yeah, give full approval, and said given time and given the right support, he believes Steven is a great choice for the juncture that the Coventry City club's arrived at the moment.
And Steven, just one for yourself. I think the club's current off-field financial struggles have been well documented. There's no need to go over that. Have the owners gone into detail with yourself about the current situation? Have they given you any assurances? Have they, you know, filled you in on everything that's going on?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest, I wouldn't be sitting here today, and I can assure you of that, if I wasn't comfortable with the current situation. Of course there are challenges ahead, and we're very much aware of them, but I'm very comfortable with the situation. I spoke with Joy, I spoke with Tim Fisher, and of course I spoke with Steve, and I believe we can get through this period and then get the opportunity, as we've said, to truly build this football club.